Hello and welcome to the Connective Voice Switching Time from HPC to OSOC or Not Home training video. In this video, you're going to learn the difference between HPC and OSOC, how to switch between HPC, OSOC, and Not Home, and then how to edit HPC and OSOC time. So the first thing you're going to need to know is what is the difference between HPC and OSOC. HPC stands for Homemaker Personal Care. So HPC time is time that you are actively providing the services to the individual that are listed in the PCP and CPT. So the CPT, for anyone who doesn't know, is a breakdown of when HPC and OSOC hours are. So a CPT summary might list 7A to midnight HPC time, and then midnight to 7A OSOC time. That's an example of what a CPT summary would do. So the HPC time is commonly referred to as awake time. When an individual has third shift staff, their staff is either HPC for awake or OSOC for asleep. HPC means they have to stay awake for the entirety of the shift. On the other side, OSOC stands for on-site on-call. So OSOC time is time that you would not normally be needed because your individual is usually asleep. OSOC time is determined by the SSA and depends on the needs of the individual. It's very important to know that staff may not change the OSOC hours. If an individual has OSOC hours from 11P to 5A, those are the only hours that staff may be asleep. You can't sleep over, even if the individual went to sleep at midnight, so you think, well, it's 6 hours, I can just change the OSOC hours. That's not what we're allowed to do. If an individual is consistently needing things or not sleeping during OSOC time, this should be tracked in case changes need to be made. So CPT summaries aren't permanent. We certainly wouldn't expect that someone has the same sleeping schedule for the entirety of their life, and things change. So if things are changing, the easiest way to communicate that is to stay in touch with the office and track, when the individual is sleeping and what they are needing when they're not sleeping. So for switching time in Connective Voice, when you sign in, you're going to be given a menu with different addresses. You want to select the address of the individual you wish to clock in with. When you do that, it'll prompt you to select HPC or OSOC time to start your shift. It'll also say not home, but it won't let you start the shift if the individual is not home. Most shifts should begin with HPC time. It's very rare that we have a start shift at the start of sleep time. When you clock in, you will open a page for the individual that says Stop Shift at the top. To change from HPC to OSOC, click the pencil to the right of Working With. Once you click the pencil, you're going to bring up this menu, which gives you the option to change your time. If you start your shift as HPC and your sleep time is beginning, you would select OSOC and then hit Edit. Then you have to remember that once your sleep time ends, you have to come back to this menu and select HPC for the remainder of the shift. Most shifts will have at least an hour of HPC after OSOC ends. So if you're doing a sleep shift, you should be starting and ending the OSOC as well. So for people who are not home. So not home or no service would be used in situations where more than one individual lives in the home. So if you're providing services to two people and one of them leaves for dayhab, you would switch the person who leaves to not home while they're gone. Once they return, you would switch back to HPC. The individual who remains home would remain in HPC the entire time. So editing times after shift ends. Once your shift is over, on the main page where you would click on Stop Shift, this is the menu that would pop up when you click on Stop Shift. It's a shift review, which is where you can edit your time if needed. If you notice that one of your times is incorrect, simply click the pencil next to which portion of the time is incorrect and edit the actual times. So if you do a sleep site, you'll see that there's an HPC, there's sleep time, and then there's HPC again. so it looks like 3 shifts. That's exactly what it's supposed to look like. So if your sleep time just needs altered a little bit, or your leaving time, say you couldn't clock out until later and you need to adjust it back, you can click on the pencil for any of those shifts. Keep in mind that you'll have to explain why you edited the time before you can submit it. Also keep in mind that we can see edits, and frequent editing may be questioned by us because we want to know if there are any issues to you clocking out or changing your time. We need to know why you're altering that. Once you review your times and your trips, which is covered in another video, you'll go to the check mark on the right side to submit. Once you submit, the shift will clear and the screen will go back to the address selection. So here we're going to cover some troubleshooting things that come up with changing time, because we've seen things happen before. So the most common error, the most common problem is being unable to clock out. One solution to the clocking out issue is to delete OSOC time. If you want to try to delete OSOC time, click the pencil next to the OSOC time to edit. When you do that, there will be an X up on the top right-hand side. Just click the X. When you do that, you're going to have to edit your HPC time, so there's only one visit that covers the entire shift time. And then after you do that, you're going to have to report the issue to management, because the state tracks, for billing purposes, the state tracks when staff are awake and are asleep. So we can go into ConnectAvoice and change that time from HPC to OSOC if you guys are not able to do it. If you can't fix the issue by deleting the OSOC time, just go ahead and give management a call and we can sign you out of your shift. That is the end of the switching time training video. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to a member of management and we will help you out. Thank you.